G'day and welcome to Pillars of Ranternity. It's going to be a new long series for me. I backed this game, but we are definitely to be playing on, I think, easy here. So Pillars of Eternity is the Kickstarter RPG from Obsidian that is meant to harken back to the classics like Baldur's Gate. And it does. It definitely evokes the interface and the feel. I really enjoyed it. The first, I don't know, maybe half that I played, but unfortunately I did just get distracted and couldn't get myself back into it. So here we're going to start again. It'll be a fresh new game for me. The DLC's come out since then, so we've got the whole new expansion to make the game even longer. I'm going to try to edit out some of the random wandering, and maybe I'll summarize some of the side quests rather than do them on camera. We'll see. Obsidian's also spent a lot of time balancing the game, which feels kind of strange.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead.
Yeah, as I said, this game, it's a fantasy setting that is unique to Obsidian, and that they created it. There is kind of a supplemental RPG book. There are a bunch of different cultures, and let's create our character. So they very clearly, male or female doesn't actually impact your abilities in the game, and for the most part, you aren't going to have people complaining about female characters basically breaking the stereotype, as I recall. So now we've got a choice between a bunch of different races. Of course, there's human, dwarf, elf. So Orlan are basically the halfling equivalent, but they look a little bit funkier. Almoa is a kind of semi-aquatic races. And then you've got godlike, which are a combination of another race with some kind of funky abilities. They're also sterile, which isn't really going to come up in your typical game here, but it could. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to pick here. The godlike that you pick is alright. I think we'll get to do some further customization on the next ones. So the key thing here is I like playing sneaky characters. I like playing characters that notice things. I'm not that fussed about straight damage, so Orlan seems like a good pick, or possibly elf. I have a slight bias against elves just because I don't like how many positive racial picks I seem to end up with. But it does seem to work fairly well mechanically for me. Dexterity and perception are both things I feel that I want. Obsidian did spend a lot of time actually making sure that you don't lose. That you can go for unusual builds and they'll still be effective. They may not be the best build, but they've tried to make sure that you can't have a really dumb build. Okay, so wood elves or pale elf. So wood elves get the ability to shoot from further distance away. That's nice. And they're also better at dodging. Whereas pale elves are kind of aquatic, not aquatic. They're resistant to various things. They're exotic. They're from the far north. I'll go with a wood elf, and then my plan here is probably to go with a rogue, because that is the kind of character that I tend to really like playing. It is worth noting that there are some kind of unusual ones, like the Chanter and the Cypher, which are different. Like, they've got kind of wind-up abilities, as I recall. Yeah, so the Cyphers are soul magicians, and the Chanters are bards, kind of. And so they slowly build those things up. I want stealth and mechanics. Yes, that sounds great. And this is a party game, so I will have a party. So then I get a choice between Crippling Strike, which is a per encounter ability that 2 per encounter, extra damage, and hobbles an opponent, which makes them slower and easier to hit. Blinding Strike blinds an opponent, which then will make it easier to hit them with other things. And full attack. Yeah, I'm going to go with Blinding Strike for now. So then it comes to abilities. So I like here, they've got these things, because the stat system, while still being a 6-point thing where 18 is really good, is not the same as D&D. So might impacts all characters. It increases the amount of damage you do and the amount of how effective your abilities are. Constitution is, of course, how much damage you can take. Dexterity is about speed and your defenses. Perception is about spotting things, and about your accuracy as well. Intellect is about area of effect and duration of abilities, and then resolve is about how good you are at concentrating. So I am definitely the kind of person that likes grabbing a bit of perception, a bit of dex. I also don't like being an idiot, and so I'm probably going to do something along these lines. Let's do that. This is we're playing on easy, so it shouldn't matter too much. And now we actually do get to pick a culture, so we can work out where our character is from. They can be from the Empire, they can be from the Archipelago, which is like a piratey place. They can be from the Plains, which are a very old culture, and you can see all of this seems to affect our starting gear. Old Vila is a crumbling remnants of an empire. Rautai, I guess, is different. Yeah, I'm not really sure how much these will come into play. I mostly want things from other places. Is there one that gives me a bow here? No. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Deadfire Archipelago because that sword looks nice. Okay, and then a background as well. So we can be an aristocrat, we can be a drifter, which is probably what we're going to go for because it just allows us to further amplify things. Let's see. Slave isn't going to help us. Yeah, let's be a drifter. We've never really fit in anywhere, probably because we keep stealing from people. Okay, now I kind of wish, like, I appreciate that you do have these hand-drawn portraits, right? But I really wish that there was also an option to just take the 3D model, because if I customize here, and I probably will, I mean, if I make the hair paler, that looks really, really, really bright. Like, if I customize the character, it's not like that gets reflected on the portrait. So the secondary coloration Gonna go with red, a little bit darker. Skin tone, yeah, sure. And then primary is that coloration of that. Yeah, we'll do that. Sure thing. Done. And that is not at all reflected by our look here. Next. And now we pick a voice.
Hmm? Let's go!
Which I'm not hearing. Game.
Keeping an eye out.
I've got this. Ha!
That would be because I had the volume down.
Easy
really
now.
low.
Eh? Yeah!
Yeah?
Follow me. You better run!
Yeah, let's do the cocky voice. And now let's pick a name. Which will just be Ranneko, because that's what I tend to do that with almost all of these things. Okay, great. So it only took 10 minutes to create a character. And now we're in the actual area. I really... I wonder if that opening scroll was voiced, now I think about it. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy beard, mustache, and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the
Whole
hillside.
area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master talks to you, frowning as he looks you
Touch
over.
of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Odima looks over it. So that was him talking to Sparfell, who is probably going to be a temporary companion. He's going to help, and we can talk to the guy.
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one. Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
So one of the things I do like is that they do, in fact, actually give you your background does impact things, and there's stuff about personalities and reputations.
Got
you
different
can
names
build.
for them.
The game
Settlers
reacts.
called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much. Not if
There's
you
a
hurry
dangers
about
out
your
here.
business, and not if the weather holds up.
What
This time of
kind
year,
weather?
rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a Bellyache, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to. They don't got Audra where
And
you
these
come
rocks,
from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
So
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
So
Hold
one
on.
of the
Take someone
come on.
with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who spent the journey's nights sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up at her on her own time. She needs to find some springberries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Strange that last line wasn't voiced.
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Bellyache, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to skip these bits with the
Not a
tutorials.
problem.
I'm leaving them up because I wanted to see things. If you've been watching Torment Thursdays, one thing you might want to know is that this is actually the same engine that Torment uses, but Torment has customized it. This is a Baldur's Gate style game, which means that you are dealing with real time with pause combat system. Also, it means you can do other strange and kind of silly things like immediately murder someone.
Go on then, before it gets too dark.
To merchants. Who is a merchant? He is a merchant. Nope. You, where? Oh, Heoden. There
Anyone
we go.
need supplies? I've got
Good old
sundries for
Tapkey.
sale.
Yep. You see a man wearing a simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his
Got
tunic.
a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered in uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on
Say,
the road.
is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale.
Let's see what you got that we could possibly grab. Oh yeah, so I backed this at a fairly high level, so I have stuff to begin with, including multiple pets. So I've got a tiny obsidian worm. I've got a giant miniature space pig. I've got this pledge which gives me a heal. And I have this cloak of the obsidian order, most of which do nothing. But I guess it's stuff I could sell as well. I could grab some lockpicks. What do I have? I got 100. What do I actually have in my inventory? Yeah. So, in fact, let's put some stuff on. Pet. You go in the pet slot. You go in the cloak slot. So we've got a cloak. We've got saber and a dagger. And you have a torch and an axe and armor.
Something else you need?
Let's see what you got. I definitely want to grab these. Oh wait, I see how it is. We'll just get the one lockpick then. The one lockpick. Do we have a bow? Can't afford the bow though. I'm sure we'll find a bow soon enough. That'll be it then. No, I want them. So there's other... I need to remember that. I keep trying to move the mouse with... not move the mouse. Well, fine. Keep trying to move the screen with D.
I'll have this open in no time.
I
As
see.
promised.
Cool. So lockpicks help compensate for a low lockpicking skill, which is interesting. We're just gonna loot all of the caravan, and then we could sell some of that back, or we could leave, which we're gonna do. We're gonna leave. The other thing that you can do now.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
So this is the introductory tutorial map. It is like any BioWare game. Not BioWare. Like any old game. You're talking about a system where
Stay quiet.
you move very... you see fairly short distances.
We shouldn't stray too far.
What I should check, now I think about it, is in the controls, the quick save and quick load is F5
Let's
and
check
F8.
by those outcroppings.
So we got ourselves this. Okay, you. So at the start of the game, or like when the game initially released, you had to do, like you
Say the word.
not have one person in stealth and one person not. It simply was not a thing that the game allowed. One of the changes they've made since then is partial party stealth, which I will probably take advantage of as much as possible. Okay, great. So we murdered that wolf. We've even got its pelt, and we've got the berries that
This
we're
is it.
after. You're a kind of mystery to the rest of the caravan. Just some kind of wonder the way I hear it. Yeah, let's do this. That sort of thing happens when you're an orphan. Yeah, how is it you happened to come here? Never had a place to call home? Still looking. Got a lot on your mind then. Hopefully things work out in the end, but in my experience, they don't always. Kalisha breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Raedric's offer makes a girl think, I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? Haven't given it much thought. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So you must have some other plan in mind for coming this way. Let's go with getting into trouble, I suspect. Huh, you come to the right country. This whole place is crawling with troublemakers. It's a point of pride for them. Anyway, I'm wasting my time here. Odema will give me an earful. I'll be on my way. Why are you here? My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. Haven't seen her in ages. I've been doing guide work in Examinate. But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Odema I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. What can you tell me about Deerwood? Not much for history, but I'll tell you what I know. It used to be part of the Adia Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People are having trouble giving birth, I guess? A lot of them. It's been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, I'll have to ask my sister about it. Tell me about yourself. I get simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rautai and another in Adir. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. Alright, let's get back to camp. And I wouldn't hold my breath like that Sparfell's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like. You should check up on him first, slap him around a little. The stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. Okay, that's not what I meant to do either. S is slow, D is fast. So these are ruins, and we're actually gonna... My plan is to basically look around. One of the other things that was annoying, and I think they've improved, is there was a mode... yes.
Quiet.
So stealth is also scouting. So this, if you're in this mode, you can find hidden things. If you're not in this mode, you can't. So basically what this led to around launch is a lot of this. A lot of just wandering around stealthily. Which is really tedious, and I believe they have patched it kind of, in that you still get some use of perception even without that. But it's only some, which means that we're still actually going to do the tedious thing a fair bit. But, I mean, I can speed things up for you. I can also use fast mode to make it less tedious for myself. So, you know. See you, Bambi. Travelers, maybe. Or looters, bandits. Bad sign anyway you figure it. Yep. What did it actually say? It's cold. Corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe song was from it in waves. A dark, crusted blood stain is... yeah, sure. Gotcha. Oh, right. I have an illness which impacts things. Let's see.
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting.
But the water skin, at least. Out of the trees emerged Sparfle. No one carries his bone. There's a strangeness to his gait. His stride wobbly as he moves toward you with laboured breath.
Sparfle? Are you all...
Sparfle's toe catches on a rock and he collapses forward in a heap. The feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Okay. Crap. I actually wanted to do things.
Ambush!
So here's our first real fight, so to speak.
Just say the word.
And then here's stuff about damage reduction. So at least, yeah, we'll get notified if we can't do anything. What abilities do you have? Second wind and knockdown. You knock down this guy. You blind this fella.
Yeah. You're mine!
So this game kind of uses temporary hit point system. Oh,
Just say you.
I want to both do things.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Yeah, you say that, but I'm actually gonna grab things. I'm really glad that they have done this. Just to say, they have moved things into your inventory space. I'll grab the beer, and let's just sneak.
Stay quiet.
As I recall, there was a stash around here.
Wonder what
Gotcha.
this is.
Yes, the unique pistol, which is the Disappointer. Which is still better than the bow, as I recall. 17 to 23, and 11 to 16. Okay, so we're gonna go back.
Just say the word.
You...
What you need?
No, wrong.
Just say the word.
There we go. Great.
Leave it to me.
So let's go deal with the camp. And I think we'll be done for the day once that is done. Okay.
Just say the word.
Did you not continue to attack? Okay, pistols. You scored a crit. Crits are better than hits. And there's various ways to crit stack. So, you know.
Not a problem. Nothing will slip past me.
And we can see everybody is dead. Dave, Glenfathan leader. Oh wait, sorry. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travellers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisha puts back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapour. A hand of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering severe with the thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hirden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this life's man for a fight you will lose. Why have you done this? You have trespassed in places of which no mortal man is worthy. You are trespassers and plunderers all. We will see this outrage avenged. So I say again, lay down your arms. I don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. Let's go with... So these are all stat-based things. Let's go with perception. Your courage is a mask. None of you are slain a true warrior. The man's brow creases, questioning. We have killed many trespassers, like you. Your kills are sloppy, the wounds on these people are inefficient and off target. This is the work of untested men accustomed to carelessness. The man bares his teeth. He looks at Hirden, helpless, his eyes shut tightly for the killing blow. The man spits. We'll see whose courage is a mask. He shoves Hirden before you. As he does so, he rakes his blade against Hirden's torso. Hirden screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. So, we do have Hirden still. We're gonna do this. You go and knock him down, and you, Hirden, are also a rogue. So actually, we'll do this, and you go knock him down.
Just say the word. Slippery.
Knock him down again. Swap and charge.
Yeah?
Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companion is now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sigh, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Caravan Master Edema, seated against a wagon wheel amid the howling maelstrom, slashed across his chest and bowel, his body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
So here we have a bivouac. So let's go in this, straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step. You set your hand in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Continue. Hirden trails behind, slowed by injury, delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who'd been feigning death lunges for Hirden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hirden lashes out at his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They're close to you. Despite the wind, from your position, if you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you have a good chance of hitting your mark. Let's grab a rock and hurl it at the attacker. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Hirden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hirden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving onto the hard rock, you manage to catch a hold of it. Securing his hand, you pull it with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Hirden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's now a deep resonance to the swelling beneath your feet. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet. In the wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet. And inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Gotta love the classic escape into a dungeon and have the door close behind you. Collapse behind you. Alright, we will leave it here. Next time, we'll continue. And we'll explore the very first dungeon in Pillars of Ranternity. Until then, have a great day.